boys and girls, we had a pretty sad situation Wednesday night. I was at work Wednesday night, of course, because I work my 3:30 to midnight, and I got a call from a detective like at 9:30 asking who I was and where I lived and yada yada yada. At the time I thought, you know, well, I'm not going to give him accurate information because it's kind of sketchy that a sheriff is calling me and who knows what the fuck they want. But they got a little bit of information from me, and then I kind of asked what was going on, and they just said they had questions. I'm like, okay. So they said they're going to call me right back. I'm like, alright, sweet. So they call me back. 5 minutes later, same guy, his name's Detective Burns, and he goes, he asked me where my mother was, because at the time my mother was still at work. She doesn't usually get home till around 10. I told him, so yeah, you know, she's at work, she'll be home, you know, I asked again, you know, a little more firmly, you know, what the fuck's going on? And they said there was an incident at my residence, and right now it's still confidential because they didn't know who I was. They kind of found his phone and went through his contacts and started calling people, and I was the first one, luckily. They get a hold of me, they asked, you know, there was an incident at the house involving Matthew, and I asked them, well, is he okay? And of course they say no, but they didn't tell me anything. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, Matthew's known to do stupid things, like, you know, call a hospital, or he gets sick and he has to go, or, you know, he was so heavily drinking that he was pretty much delusional, and oh, it was horrible. So I'm like, all right, Matthew, what'd you do this time? And I get a third call when my mom gets home. Same detective goes, can you come home? Can you come home for your mother? She needs you right now. I'm like, holy crap, what the hell happened, you know? And of course they tell me, well, Matthew took his own life. And I actually had that on speaker while my manager was next to me. And I'm like, holy shit, you gotta be kidding me. And they go, well, unfortunately not, you know, so my boss is right there next to me. Of course, he said, you know, get the fuck out of here, go home, take a few days off, you're gonna need it. So of course I'm racing the fuck home at 10 o'clock at night, topping the bike out, and I'm like, no fucking way. I couldn't really believe it after what they told me. I'm like, there's no fucking way. You know, I know he was kind of not all there, but Jesus Christ, you know. So I'm thinking worst case fucking scenario. I shit you not, I'm actually thinking, I'm like, god damn it, you know, I bought a gun, I had it in the house, I mean, I hit it pretty well, and I'm like, there's no way, you know, hopefully he didn't use the fucking gun. And then I'm like, well, you know, there's a lot of knives and shit, and, you know, I don't know if he probably would have tried to injure himself that way, or I have no idea. And I'm thinking, he jumped out in traffic, I have no fucking clue, you know, it was like 16,000 thoughts going through my head, and I'm thinking about my mom, like, holy fuck, you know, she's been together with him for almost 23 years, and holy fuck. So I get home, and there are just cops everywhere. My mom's car is in front of the driveway, you know, she couldn't even pull in, 'cause she didn't even believe what was going on, because she didn't know at the time exactly what was going on. You know, on the way home, she doesn't have a phone, no one could contact her. It happened like right when her store closed, so it's not like I could call her at work and be like, hey, what's going on? You know, I contacted his sister and said, hey, something shady's going down at my place, but, you know, other than that, my mom didn't know. So I get home, of course, you know, my mom already had to confront all that, and I pulled in the driveway, and they wouldn't let me in the house, of course, because I didn't know exactly what was going on, how he killed himself, whatever. So, you know, I go to my mom, she's crying her fucking eyes out. You know, of course, I'm depressed as shit, so I couldn't hold myself together. You know, the detective was asking me a bunch of questions, you know, he was at least really comforting, and of course I find out, yes, he indeed used my gun to shoot himself in my garage. And I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. He used my fucking gun. I even hid the he tore my room apart. He tore the whole garage apart looking for it. I separated it from ammo. I mean, it was a mess. He was determined, and he already made his decision that this is what he wanted to do. He was heavily depressed. He lost he had everything, okay? He was a a nuclear radiologist. He was doing a whole bunch of bullshit with radiation, and he had a great job. He got himself a brand new fucking, well, not brand new, but he got himself a Porsche. You know, he had a great house. He had me, he had my mom. And, well, he was an alcoholic, so he was drinking a lot and drinking and drinking. And it got to the point where the alcohol took him over, and he wasn't even him anymore. He disconnected himself from everybody. He got a DUI, he crashed his car, he lost his job, he didn't have anything. He was just sitting at the house on the couch watching TV, drinking, sleeping, drinking, sleeping, drinking, sleeping. That's all his life was. And of course he would tell us, you know, stories that weren't true, like he got a job in Germany or something, or every little thing that he would say is almost hard to believe, because after 3 years of dealing with his excessive drinking, you kind of start, you know, just playing along with it, you know. So I guess he really must have hit extremely low, below rock bottom. For someone to do that, it's insane, you know. It's like just the thought of, you know, ending your life and what you're gonna do to others, and, you know, what you're gonna miss out on, and just a little shit, you know. It's like, it's fucked up. I mean, he was probably in pain and agony. His brain was probably driving him crazy. I mean, he was so heavily poisoned by alcohol, it was ridiculous. So they're like, you know, you can either, which is so fucked up. I mean, yes, they took the body, of course, but they're like, you know, you can either hire somebody to clean it up, or you can do it yourself. I'm like, well, who the fuck do you call for that, you know? Like, there's no, I'll do it myself. So they showed me the garage. And then I asked, you know, how did they find out? And they're like, well, he called 911 before he even did it, saying he's going to kill himself. So they rushed to the house, and of course the door was locked. So they had to bust the door open to get in, and that's how they found him. They tried to resuscitate him because, you know, there's some kind of miracle, or of course, you know, just to really, you know, make sure he's, you know, dead. And so they moved him around a lot, so there was a good amount to clean. I had some friends stop by and actually help me, which was, I don't know, but they came by at first for moral support, and then I'm like, well, this is what I got to do, and they kind of all chipped in to help. So today's my first day back at work now. I've had a 4-day weekend. Hopefully I'm better and able to actually go to work and not freak the fuck out, because the 2 days afterwards were just too surreal and hasn't really kicked in. Now everything's just kind of kicking in. It's horrible. Rest in peace, Matthew. I'll keep you guys updated, talk a little bit more. Of course, I'm at work now, so it's horrible. Well, we'll talk a little more once I get out of work. But yeah, Saturday we have the funeral, so that way we're gonna have that taken care of. And it's open to public, to anybody who would like to come. Of course, it's in the description. It's going to be taking place in Bradenton. I can't remember exactly what it's called off the top of my head, but it'll be in the description, that I can tell you. If for any reason you guys knew Matt or were an acquaintance, you're more than welcome to come. I mean, hell, even if you just want to be there for support with me or whatever, I mean, you can show up. It's 9:30 in the morning. We loved him very much. He loved us. He just wasn't going through. He just wasn't really too happy. I don't know. I don't know. You know, we tried. We made a huge effort to help him in every way that he needed. And he asked for help. We gave it to him. You know, we can't say we didn't try, which we did, because, well, we all loved him. We always stuck by his side. We never really, you know, we never really abandoned him or anything like that. So, I mean, I speak for a lot of people, including family and friends, that, yeah, we really loved him, and it was a shitty way for him to go. And, of course, I cope with it my own way. Like I said, the first couple days were pretty fucking horrible. But, it's just gonna take time, slowly getting better. It's crazy what alcohol can really do to somebody. I mean, it wasn't just alcohol. It was a combination of a lot of different things. But if it wasn't for the alcohol, I think there would have been a lot of differences in life. I'll tell you that. I mean, it was a big shocker for us all. Nobody really actually saw it coming. We'll always have Matthew in our hearts. He'll always be there with us. I swear, I think he's a ghost in my house. I mean, there are noises that we don't normally hear. The door's shut, things drop. It's like, oh, it's just Matthew. It's just Matthew. He was pretty close to me. Well, YouTube friends and family, until next time. I'm gonna put a little video at the end of this for Matthew. Love you all.